Alright guys, we got the Trans Am. We're gonna do the rear brakes and rotors. Alright, so we're in the back, driver's side rear. This is the caliper right here. We're gonna remove the brakes down here. So let me set up my camera in an angle where we can see better. Alright, there you go. My light goes there. So first thing what we're gonna do is, let me put my light here, it's much better. We're gonna remove this. This is the caliper here. We're gonna remove this bolt, and then the one on the top. Their number, let me just make sure what number is. This is 15. So we're gonna remove both of these 15s, or one, it's up to you. I'm gonna remove them both because the cable, the brake line doesn't have too much gap. Sometimes the inside spins here, so all you gotta do is hold it with the ply. You can use a vice grip. All right, there you go. We have this one out. There you go. And then same thing on the top one. Sometimes you don't want to take off the bottom one because the caliper will move, so I just put this one back a little bit to get this top one out. Can you see the top one? There it is. I'm working on the top now. That wasn't good. All right. Let me fix up my camera a little bit. There you go, I have that loose. So I have both of these loose now. Here are the bolts. I'm gonna put them to the side. We're gonna take this caliper. We're gonna remove it and let it sit back here. What we're gonna do is next is we're gonna take out these brake pads. All right, there's the brake pads. After we have the pads removed, we're gonna go a little bit more further in the back, and I'll adjust my camera so we can see it better. Let me see if I can see it better. All right, can we see there? All right, that's good. Go up a little bit. There you go. We're gonna remove 15 here and 15 there, right? Like that. Let me loosen the one on the top. Alright, so they're both loose. I can take them off by hand. There you go, I have the bracket out. Here's the bracket. Alright, next, I'm gonna move my camera this way. I'll bring my light over so we can look at it better. From a better angle. There you go. It's much better. Alright. We're gonna remove this rotor. Sometimes you have to hit this rotor. And the customer wants to save this rotor, so I'm not gonna tap it too hard. I'll hit it with the back end of the hammer. So say I just tap there softly so I don't damage the rotor. Right, there you go. That's the brake rotors there. Not in bad condition. Inside you have the emergency shoes, so we're not touching that. Alright, they look good. Alright, a little bit of rust here. I'm gonna go get the new rotor, and we're gonna put the new rotor on. Alright, we got the new rotor here. He bought the slided rotors. These are always like flying, you know, like they're turning. So you want to put these always in that angle. There you go. They go in perfect and beautiful. Next, we're going to put that bracket back on, alright? So we're going to take the camera back there again. And we'll put the bracket on there. Alright. I think that's a pretty good view right here. Let me just go look in the back of the camera. There you go. It's a good view. One thing we want to do is we want to clean the surface area where the brake pads are going to sit. So this is the caliper, the brackets here. Alright, so what we're going to do is You just take a wire brush and you simply clean it a little bit, alright? Because his brakes didn't come with the new hardware kit. Same thing on the other side. Alright, after that you're going to take your number 15 bolts. We're going to put this on the caliper here. Make sure you get the threads good. Do the same thing with the top bolt. We're going to take our ratchet and we're going to tighten both of these bolts. That's one. Alright, that's two. Double check the one in the bottom again. Alright, these bolts, they have pretty good grease on them, so I'm going to leave them alone. Don't want to put too much grease either. We're going to put the new brake pads on. This is the new brake pads. Alright, so this little sensor go in the back. Alright, we're going to do the same thing with this one. Once we have that in place, we're going to take our caliper. We're going to pump this piston back in, alright? A lot of time you have to put a brake pad there, since this caliper, the tool that I have, it has a big mouth. It grabs right onto it and it pushes it back. Alright, this didn't have to go too bad because he had good brake pads. What I'll do is I'm going to put this caliper back. I'm going to take some grease. I'm going to put a little bit of grease here on the pads, on the outer edges, just like that. Right? Alright, I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to show you guys what it looked like so far. So this is what the brakes look like on this Pontiac. This is Trans Am. Alright. Those look nice, slotted rotors. And we're gonna finish up this job now. I'm gonna put the caliper on. Alright, so I'll take this caliper. I'll bring it over. Alright, let me move my light to this direction a little bit, if you see light. Get some light. We're gonna take the bolt on the top, pull one side in first. The reason is this little clip inside, it works like a spring. It's gonna bounce the caliper back. So what it does is it pushes the brakes in and keeps them locked tight from wiggling around. So if you hit a bump, they won't rattle. And we'll take number 15, just make sure this cable is nice and not twisted. Alright, there you go. Have that nice and tight. That's it. Nice and tight. Double check everything and we're done. And I'll show you what it look like now. There you go. That's how you do brake pads on a Trans Am. It's just like a regular brake job, nothing fancy, nothing big deal. All right.